Welcome back, guys. It has been hectic lately. It's been tough to make you videos, I'm not gonna lie. It's been hectic. With everything going on from work, school, extracurricular activities that I can and cannot film, basically just not allowed to bring my camera with. If you were following along, the Soldier of the Year competition, or Best Warrior competition is what it's more broadly known as. I was training for that. So we do got some things going on. I want to get back into making videos for you guys pretty consistently, but I wanted to give you a little update. This isn't going to be a huge, long talking head segment, but I did want to give you guys a quick, brief rundown, how things went, how things are going, and what we got planned for the next couple of videos here. Like I said before, if you guys have been following along, I was training for Soldier of the Year, or the Best Warrior competition. My category was the Soldier of the Year. You have two categories in the Best Warrior competition. You have NCO and you have Soldier. I won brigade. I told you guys that on the last video. You know, I won brigade. My squad leader and I both won brigade. So that was fantastic. That was awesome. That's a huge accomplishment. Something to be extremely proud of. Then we moved on to state. So I competed in the Minnesota Best Warrior competition. Oh gosh, 3 weeks ago now. Going on about 3 weeks now. And I ended up taking first. So I was like ecstatic. That was the whole goal, was to win state, to be titled the best warrior in the state of Minnesota. And I got it. I'm beyond thrilled with it. It's a major accomplishment for my military career and personal growth to know that I got the grit to push through. And like, I was just fine with that. I was just fine with taking it to state and winning there. But what came with that was regionals. So Region 4 competition is what I ended up competing in. And that was actually just last week. So it was 7 states from the 4th region. They break it up into regions and then you move on to nationals. So I competed against, there was obviously myself. There was Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. So 7 total states competing in each category. So 14 total competitors between NCOs and soldiers. And we were doing really good. There was a lot of tough competition there, don't get me wrong. Like, everybody that was there wanted to be there. They had strive, they had motivation, they had dedication, and they were skilled. They were good soldiers. But we were doing really good until the second night. So to give a little clarity, the first night of the competition, the whole first day was pretty much admin. We did a little test, like a paper test, the first night. And then the second night is when the competition really kicked off. We had the expert physical fitness assessment. We had like 6 different shooting competitions that we had that first day. And then we ended with land navigation at night. So land navigation is like one of my strong suits. You can put me in the woods. I know where I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know where to go. No problem. Like, a lot of people get worried about land nav. I got no issue being cocky about that. I am not one of those people that worry about land nav. I can crush land nav every time, anywhere. It's just one of my weird strong suits that I have. But it was pouring rain. Tornado just came through, I think they said 2 weeks before, and it came through the entirety of the course. So there was a lot of downed trees. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, you're making up excuses, you're going into this, and you failed at land nav. I didn't. I did not fail at land nav. I had something much worse happen to me. I had a tree fall on me, and now I'm on crutches. So I was climbing through some down trees, and there was 3 trees. There was 2 lower trees and 1 high tree right in the middle. The lower trees were about 1.5 feet, 2 feet off the ground, and I don't know, maybe 4 feet apart from each other. And that top tree was an additional probably 2 feet above those bottom trees. I walked up, I tested the tree closest to me, tested the tree on the top to make sure that things wouldn't move, trying to be safe, going through this debris and downfall. Start climbing through. I reach over to the other side, get to the other side, and the top tree falls. It fell, thankfully, on the back of my knee. But when it came down, so my leg was like this, still on the back log, and I'm on the front log here. It came down on the back of my knee and pinned me like this between those trees. We had our phones. They were taped up in like evidence bags so that you couldn't open it and cheat, essentially. We also had an emergency radio. At this point, the emergency radio is pinned against my chest because I got it on my carrier, and I'm stuck against a tree. So they're calling out times on the radio to let us know how long we have, because a lot of us didn't bring watches or we couldn't have our smart watches and things like that. And it was just for safety too. They called out 22:30, which is 10:30 at night, which meant that I had 43 minutes left to finish this. I was on my way to my last point when that happened, and I was stuck for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. I didn't know how I was going to get out. Finally, I'm like, I'm going to end up having to, because I could still reach my left side, my left leg, down to my cargo pocket where my phone was. But I couldn't like bring my foot up or turn around to try to push the tree off of me. So I don't even know how I did it. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea how I did it. I ended up just kind of like weasel dicking my way out of there somehow. Like finally I just got like pissed off and was like, I'm not going to fail. Like this is ridiculous. Get smushed by a tree and be stuck out here. So I ended up getting out with, my guess is probably close to that 30-minute mark, somewhere in there. Because I remember when I got out afterwards, they called out 22:45 very shortly after I got out, which meant I had, right around a half hour left to get back to the start point. So I said, you know what, screw it. We're not going to go for that last point. It's 200 meters away. I'm hurt. I've got another 2,200 meters, 2.2 kilometers that I need to move through these woods. And it was thick woods, very thick woods. So I end up pushing through. I said, you know what, we're just going to dead reckon straight east because I know the road is east. And I'm hauling. I'm hurt. There's thorns everywhere. It was some of the nastiest land nav terrain that I've been in terms of like foliage and density. It sucked. It sucked real bad. But I ended up getting to the road and I actually fell on the road right as one of the safety vans was pulling up because it was uphill, and I just kind of like jumped up onto the road. I don't know how I did it, but just kind of fell onto the road right in front of the van. They say, you okay? I said, no, but I know I'm close to the finish. Like, where's the finish line? He's like, you got 10 minutes, about 800 meters that way. It ended up being about like 600 meters. But I started walking. I was like, this freaking hurts bad. And then I decided to try jogging. I'm like, you know what? That doesn't hurt any worse than walking. So we're just going to jog. So I ended up jogging all the way back, threw all my shit on the ground within the time limit right at the desk, the grading desk there, immediately called for a medic. I finished on time, thankfully, and got a hold of the medic. Medic came over, checked me out, asked if I wanted to go to the hospital tonight or in the morning, if I wanted to be considered a drop, blah, 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 blah. So I told them that, let's sleep on it tonight. Let's see how it feels in the morning. The doc ended up coming to my room, my BOQ that we were staying in, and checked me out and said, like a real examination, not just out in the field. And pretty much told me, like, it's not looking good. Your knee's really swollen. When you bend it, bending it was damn near impossible. It hurt extremely bad. And I was like, let's just wait until the morning. So morning rolls around, end up going to the hospital because I can't move. Like I literally can't move. I rolled over in bed even, and they ended up getting me out to the obstacle course where the doc picked me up. What I'm getting at is I ended up getting injured. About a third of the actual competition, about a third of the way through the actual competition, and still finished. I talked with the CSMs that were running it. I talked with my state CSM, my division CSMs, all these people who were in charge of making those decisions, and told them, like, this is what I want to do. I came here to compete. I'm going to compete. They did tell me there's certain things that I will not be able to compete in because the diagnosis of my knee is unknown and they don't want it to be worse or not worse. So what happened at the hospital, they took an x-ray, nothing was broken, like no bones were broken, but the MRI or it was too swollen to take an MRI. So basically they said, hey, stay off of it, wrap it up, ibuprofen, ice, and elevate, and then get an MRI like a week later. Well, that's super awesome advice. So competed in what I could compete in. In total, I ended up missing 3 total events completely, which gave me a 0 in those categories. If I would have competed and got last, finished the event and got last, I would have gotten 1 point. Mind you, the obstacle course and the 12-mile ruck march, I'm not completing those on crutches. So I was okay with taking the loss on that, taking the do not finish, because no point in getting more hurt when there's no reward for it. The helo cast, so jumping out of the back of the Chinook into the lake and going for about a 150-meter swim, was another one that they didn't allow me to compete in. I personally feel like I could have competed in it, got last place, just kind of floated on my back. We had life vests on and just floated into shore type of thing. But they said no. They said absolutely not. So I didn't get to do that one. That day, that last day of competition, I told CSM Hopkins, who's one of the people running the entire competition, I told him, I said, if I can just get 6th place and not finish last, then I won. Then I've been on crutches for 2/3 of this event. If I can do that, then in my mind, I came here, I competed, and I won. Because I never gave up, never stopped, never quit. Like pushed on, pushed forward. So that night at the awards ceremony, we call up the runners up. We call up the first place for Soldier and NCO, and we're ecstatic. Like, don't get me wrong, the guys that won, they deserved to win. They were good. They were really good. They deserved to win. There's no doubt about that. But then they started kind of going into another speech and pulled out another award. And they start talking about grit, what it means to be dedicated to the people to your left, the people to your right, to have no quit in you, things like that. And then everybody starts looking at me. I'm not very much like, even though I do videos and things like that, and I can talk to a camera, I'm by myself when I talk to a camera. I don't do very good when there's a lot of eyeballs just staring me down. So I'm like kind of staring at the ground, trying not to like look at things, anything like that. And then they called me up. So they kind of made an award for me called the Michigan Grit Award. You know, the truest display of grit and perseverance that somebody can have in the face of adversity or injury. And when I walked up there and shook CSM Hopkins' hand and received my award while I'm still facing him and not the crowd, he goes, remember what you told me this morning about finishing 6th? I kind of got a smirk on my face. And I was like, yeah, CSM? And he goes, you got 3rd fucking place. I couldn't turn around and face the crowd for a little bit. I'll just leave it at that. I placed 3rd place on crutches in the regional best warrior competition. I don't care if it sounds like I'm bragging, because I am. That is amazing. I am so proud of myself. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be proud of yourself, because I am so proud of myself for that moment. I got hurt. I got told I could be a drop. I got told I could go home. I could have come home to my family earlier, but I chose to stay, to compete, to stay with the guys, and to finish what I started all the way through. Anyways, I was ecstatic. He ended up turning me around and, you know, kind of talking about what we talked about with not wanting to finish last, at least finishing 6th, all this, all that. Gave another speech about like grit and perseverance and endurance. And then he announced to everybody that I finished 3rd. And there wasn't a single person in there that wasn't extremely happy for me. Like, and I mean the utmost joy, like true joy. Everybody felt joy that me going out there, even injured, still pushing through, put me in 3rd. Everybody was so happy for me for that moment. Like the place erupted when they figured that out. And it was a good feeling. And the reason I bring this story up and want to touch on it, and I know, sorry, I've been talking for a while now, but I personally struggle with acknowledging when I do something good, acknowledging when I do something excellent, acknowledging when I go above and beyond, because I try to stay a very, very humble man. And I feel like whenever I talk about myself or my accomplishments, I feel like I'm bragging or sound cocky or come off as conceited, because that's not the type of person I am. But I want to give a little message to everybody out there. Be proud of yourself. Like, it's okay to be proud. Don't be too proud, because the fool dies in pride. Like, you can't let it go to your head, but you also need to understand when you achieve something great and when you do something great. So be proud. It's okay to feel accomplished. It's okay to feel like you did something great, but don't let it become your personality. Don't let it become your everything. Stay humble, have humility, but know you can go out and you can kick ass whenever you need to. So that's my little story, my little update about the Best Warrior competition, about the Soldier of the Year. I guess another update, pool's fixed. Nothing's really cleaned up. I mean, the water's crystal clear, but it's like 51 degrees in there right now. We got a whole new sand filter, pump, everything like that. It's 1,000 times better than the little cartridge pump that it came with. It vacuums up way better. I can backwash, it's so much more efficient, so much better. So the pool's good. Pool's ready to rock. I got to do some landscaping around it later. It sounds like we're going to get windows, roof, fascia, soffit, and gutters on the house this year. Sounds like, knock on wood. But that'll be something exciting that's coming up in the future here, hopefully. And then aside from that, we're getting ready to go to Key West. Like, we're getting ready to go to Florida. I got a tonneau cover, actually, that I need to install on Brandy's truck, because we were going to take the Tahoe. Oh, man. But on the way to the airport, I hit 2 separate deer on 2 separate occasions. So we are no longer going to take the Tahoe down to Key West. We're going to take the Ford. It's just fine. The Tahoe is a little bit more comfortable. Like, it's got a little bit more luxury features in it. No big deal, though. The Ford's probably going to get better gas mileage, honestly. And now we got to put this tonneau cover on. So I'll set you guys up. We'll get this tonneau cover put on, finish out the video. Like I said, I didn't want this to be like a huge talking head segment. Unfortunately, it turned into a huge talking head segment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the pictures and some of the videos that I was able to put up while talking about this. And find a little bit of motivation to do something with yourself, to push forward, and to just keep on keeping on, really. I'm going to keep on keeping on these crutches until my leg heals up and get right back to it. That's the other thing that sucks so bad. Like, now that everything's done, I'm so motivated to do stuff and so motivated to, like, push and try and blacksmith and start selling knives. And, like, I want to sell these. I want to make these and sell these to people. And I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, but I have to heal. I need to take the short-term break for long-term results. Because if I do short-term results, I'm going to have a long-term injury. God, I'm getting motivational here today. Let's set this thing up. Let's get this tonneau cover put on. Well, heck yeah, that turned out pretty good. Nice tonneau cover on the Ford. It's definitely still really tight and will loosen up over time. But heck yeah, like, it's really tight. That sounds like a drum. Oh, man. Anyways, guys, that's all we're doing for this video. Like I said, it was just quick to give you updates, let you know what's going on with life, what we got planned. We're heading to Key West real soon here. So make sure you guys subscribe, turn those notifications on. Those are going to be some fun videos. I plan on doing them vlog style, and then separate ones that are actually cinematic style. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you can see those videos. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support along the way. We'll see you next time.
Nice job.
Good man.
Nice job, Augie.
Oh, the soldier.